Childcare is a complicated thing, and I don't know if it's functioning anywhere. I think that the question of if it is functioning in Bergen County depends on your income level and where you're living.
So I have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old, and my challenges have evolved as my children have grown. And initially, the primary focus is affordability. Can I afford in my budget to send my kids here and still be able to provide them with extracurriculars? Do I have enough wiggle room in my budget for myself and our personal family?
They weren't really giving me what I would consider to be affordable childcare, because at the point when she started going there, I was, in a relationship, and so we were able to afford it. But once it became a one-person, household, or one adult, one child household, I didn't find that they gave me many options to be able to pay it.
I always tell the story of my sister and her husband. She is a nurse. He worked for PSE&G for many years, and they both worked 3 months out of the year to take care of their child care when their 3 children were below kindergarten age. 3 months out of the entire year, working full-time, doing night shifts versus day shifts to cover for them. It's not easy.
I've been finding that a lot of childcare has different schedules. So I need to be at work, for example, at 7:45, and some daycares might not open until 8:30. And they do have before and after care times, but there's a cost for that too. So some daycares will have an extra $100 charge for you to drop your child off early and pick them up later.
Lack of affordable childcare is definitely something that needs improvement. As we try to get back to work after having our children, figuring out that cost-benefit analysis, whether or not we make enough money to be able to provide for quality childcare, really keeps so many women out of the workforce. Especially, it's those sticky floors. It's what deprives us of the opportunity to continue to launch forward in our careers for so many of us. And it also deprives families of income that is so critical and valuable to being able to afford to live here in Bergen County.
Education is a right. It's a necessity, right? So I think that it should be free or extremely affordable.
Funding is always a challenge because funding for the providers, because they say it's hard to be competitive in terms of keeping good staff. Because, they're trying to not pass along so much of the cost because they realize, in terms of the parents, and not everyone qualifies for Office for Children. That is something that does help offset.
There are numerous initiatives that we have going on here in Bergen County. We have Head Start, which makes preschool education more available. We have a lot of preschool initiative expansions going on in many of our municipalities. And through the Bergen County Office of the Child, we also have a child care subsidy program that's available for working families. But the bottom line is there's definitely more that needs to be done.
Because, all politics is local, so even if the governor were to mandate something, then how do you ensure that there's good quality? Because even the process, right? So for people that have the money, not only do they work and network in terms of who are the best providers, but they have the resources. But for other family members, it's just like, where do you go? How do you find a good childcare?
Because families need it, businesses need it, and children, we want our children to be in safe, nurturing, and educational environments. They need it. It is money well spent. And that means changing the way we perceive. It is not daycare. It is not babysitting. I have a friend who always says, I don't care for days. I care for children. And I think that there's a lot to be said for that. So looking at it as the public good that it is, it's time.